Hello YouTube, back once again with my Game of Thrones reviews, and here we are with episode 8, Hardhome, and, yeah, this episode, a pretty intense episode. Let's talk about this area by area. First, let's talk about Arya. This is probably the weakest part of this episode this week. It was just pretty boring, Arya was there with her at her house of black and white, talking to the faceless assassin, and she just told him a fake story, and she would just hit her anytime she wasn't convincing, and then it just essentially just ended with just the faceless assassin just saying like, "Okay, Arya, you gotta go. You're time to go assassinate someone finally." And she was like, "Okay," and that's where it left. Not much interesting going on there. Just pretty just meh kind of stuff. But then we got to back to Winterfell and in the north, and wow, this was a pretty dark scene. Theon when he goes to bring Sansa her food. There's just this really dark scene from Sansa. Like, I don't understand why, but still, it's really dark. She's like, Theon, why did you, like, she's just like, Theon, and he's like, my name's not Theon, it's Reek. It's just like, fine, Reek, why did you tell Ramsay about my escape plan? And then he's like, there is no escape. Theon tried to escape, and Ramsay killed him, tied him to a cross, and cut him apart piece by piece. And then it was just such a dark scene. Sansa was just like, wonderful performance by Sophia Turner, though. She's just like, well, good, Theon. You know, let me tell you, I wish I could do that to you. I wish I could torture you in every single way, which I'm sure she did, because my God, cutting off a man's penis, that I don't think Sansa actually wants to do that. But, maybe torturing, but not the whole penis cutting part. Yeah, no, it was so dark just seeing Sansa like, I wish I could just torture you. You deserved everything you got. But then you just saw Theon just break down and then Sansa says like, I have no family because of you, because, well, she still kind of has Jon Snow, she knows he's still alive. That's probably the first she's heard of her family in quite some time now. No, then there's just this unbelievably just dark scene. There's just this really sad scene. Just Theon just breaks down, just says like, "You're right. I betrayed you. I betrayed Robb." Just bursting into tears. But then he said something. He did tell Sansa. He finally broke down and told Sansa that Rickon and Bran are not dead. They are somewhere out there. And then Sansa's like, "Where?" And he's like, well, no, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. But that was great scene with Alfie Allen and Sophia Turner. Sansa just being so dark and just so like, oh my God, Sansa. Just this character saying I want to torture someone, and just, yeah, great scene for performance of Alfie Allen. Just like as Theon, just like when he just broke it down in tears and just admitted all his mistakes was pretty horrific. Then we got back down to, after Winterfell, then we got back down to King's Landing, and we saw what good old Cersei's up to, just rotting in a cell, just rotting her days away, and with basically just the person who brings to give her water, so just basically just being like, I will not give you water until you confess, and she's like, I am not confessing, I will kill you. And wow, seeing Cersei just such at the bottom of the road, just completely in the pits, just completely filthy, just disgusting, just like how she just starts drinking water off the ground because she's just so thirsty and not willing to confess. That was great. And then her creepy, like, Dr. Frankenstein Maester showed up, and she's like, why am I on trial? He's like, you know, like treason, you poison Robert, so he would die, incest, your children are of incest, you know, typical stuff, and she's just like, that is all a lie. And then I loved what the Frankenstein Maester said. He just like, look, the way the law runs around here does not work how it runs with the crown, on the grounds that it doesn't matter that you're the queen, or used to be the queen now. And then, and he's just like, you only really have one choice, confession, and, Well, let's see where that goes. I know where this goes. Anyone who heard anything about this show, this was one of the more controversial moments from the books that there was a lot of question if Lena Headey was willing to do it. For those who don't know, I won't spoil it, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see in the next, one of the next two episodes. Then, so there was that down in King's Landing. Then we were across the seas, back, no Dorne, though. No goddamn Dorne. I'm always pissed off now when there's no Dorne in any episode this season. There's just been so little Dorne, and so cool there in Dorne. We have Bronn just singing with that beautiful voice of his, and there's none of that this episode. Yeah, no. So then we got across the seas. We saw what happened to Ser Jorah and Tyrion after they ran into Emilia Clarke at the fighting arena, and it's just such a dark scene when just such a sad dark scene. Just when basically Tyrion, like, he basically is able to talk Dany into letting Jorah live, but he's basically just like, Jorah still gets banished, like, and basically to him that was his last hope, and it was just so heartbreaking to see that, just Ser Jorah after everything he's been through. But then this led to a very interesting scene where oh, that I also love the line when like Dan's like, well, don't the Lannisters oppose me? Why do I want you? And then Tyrion's like, I killed my mother when I was born, and I killed my father Tywin. I am the greatest Lannister killer of all time. I love that. Was a great line from Tyrion. But then, so let's actually probably what Maeve and I thought the best scene in this episode, where we saw Tyrion talking to Dany, and they're just discussing, and Tyrion's just kind of like saying why you would probably want me as an advisor, and then the lines I really loved. I really loved the line just when he's like, yo, you plan to take the Iron Throne? What? Why? Just stay here. The Iron Throne sucks. King's Landing sucks. Screw those guys. Who gives a shit about them? So that was, I loved hearing Tyrion say that, and then there was also this very interesting thing, how you learn Tyrion's just started talking about Ser Jorah, and this may have actually been Tyrion's plan to just get Ser Jorah out of there and like let him live so he can like earn Dany's favor with Jorah like another day, when he just starts saying because Dany just like, look, he lied to me. He was the person who was like in charge of making sure that I would die, and then Tyrion just like, yeah, and you know what, I trust him. He kept me alive. I think he's the only guy in the entire world at the moment I trust. And and remember, he's probably the only reason you're alive right now. He probably made sure you weren't killed as a child, there's even the scene there's even the scene from the first season where he prevented her assassination. So, all that really good stuff. That was a really good conversation. And then I love the last scene. It was in the trailer for this season. I just love that line when Tyrion just like, look, you go to King's Landing. There's no one who's gonna support your name. Like, no one likes you guys. And then he's just like, maybe best shot the Tyrells will back you, but that'll be about it. But I just love that just when Dany just starts naming all the houses, and then she's just like, screw all the houses. I am getting rid of this spinning wheel. I'm going to break this wheel. I am like, that was a really cool scene from Dany, basically seeing how big of a plan she has for conquering the Seven Kingdoms. So all that really good stuff. Then, finally, let's talk about what's probably going to be the most discussed moment of this episode. What was going on up north with the Night's Watch this week? Well, first we got a very brief scene between Gilly and Sam when they were just feeling like, when they were just having a nice conversation to each other, nothing new there. But then, like, once again, we saw that little kid whose family got killed, and he's just like, well, why is Jon doing this? Why is he bringing the wildlings here? And Sam's just like, look, in the long run, we're going to need the wildlings. Like, sometimes there's just going to have to be choices in life. You just can't please everyone. And that was a really great scene from Sam. So I just liked him saying that, just instead of Jon just saying like, yeah, I'm doing it. I just like Sam just saying like, look, there's just always going to be points in life when there's just going to be choices that you will not be able to please everyone. So that was interesting. But then what was going on further up north with the wildlings? Well, that was interesting this week. First, John got to the wilding camp where he basically, like, he finally got the wildings on his side. They're like, okay, yeah, let's go. And even the ones who didn't go, just the wilding guy, like, I forget his name, the guy with the beard and red hair, whatever his name is. He was just like, he was like, look, not what's coming, but let me tell you, when all the food runs up and it gets even colder, don't worry, they'll turn around. But then, oh god, then the worst thing possible happened. What happened? Remember those goddamn White Walkers that have been pretty much non-existent since the end of Season 2? Well, here they were again with full force, just launching an all-out invasion against the, wildings, and it was an okay action sequence. It was a bit too frantic with the editing. I was just kind of like, okay, can we calm down with the editing a bit? Want to take a step backwards here and just like calm it down. But no, just like it was just a bunch of shaky cam, a lot of quick time, just like, okay, this is getting annoying. It was fun. It was still a fun action sequence though, just on the grounds. It did kind of look like something like a zombie movie, just with all of the zombies, White Walkers trying to bust through the gate and just like everyone trying to hold the gate and kill them once they get through. That was all really cool. But then John got into like a one-on-one duel who looked like it would be a boss fight from a video game after you went through the level of like defending the wall from the zombies, where there was this super zombie who like knew how to fight, and John just meant the fight getting his ass kicked. But then that sword of his, the one that the last commander of the Night's Watch gave him, he grabs it and he learns that the sword, the Valyrian steel, actually can be used to fight the White Walker. So then now he knows of another advantage he has, or maybe it's hinting about what his possible descendant, what his possible lineage is, who knows. And but then so there's a nice quick fun and then just a nice pretty good action sequence, not season 4 levels of greatness. And then it ends with them basically all just running away, just fleeing. I love how the giant's there and he basically just throws the zombies like they're just a pity. It's just like, what's it's like, oh, you piece of shit, just throws it over. Like, I thought that was kind of darkly hilarious. Then as they were sailing away, John just looks back and you saw what seems to be the leader of the White Walkers. Those ice things, are they supposed to be essentially be a crowd? Because that's pretty cool if that's what they're going for. Those ice spikes that come out of his head. But they're just staring, and then you just see John staring the chief White Walker down, and then just the White Walker chief just raises his hands like this, and all the people who died in the battle just rise as White Walkers. Very creepy scene. That and the children White Walkers, that was also a really creepy scene. And just John just staring at hard, just knowing now, wait, for every person we lose is another person to their army. Are we so fucked? And I think even one of them just says like, fuck, when that happens. I was like, well, fuck is right. And the only thing was missing, though, it would have been so much better if when he raised his hands and all the dead fallen rised again as White Walkers, and just John was staring at horror, if that White Walker general just said, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," and started maniacally laughing, that would have been the most amazing moment this season. But still a pretty great moment. Oh, and also I forgot to mention back down in with Danny and her group, after Ser Jorah was kicked out, Ser Jorah, he went back to the slaver who bought him for the minor league basically fighting. So and Ser Jorah basically wants to be part of the Colosseum so he can face the Queen one more time. Hopefully one last shot to get back in with Danny's graces. And that's that. So all I can say is a great episode this week. I gotta say it's pretty heartbreaking just seeing how Ser Jorah, how much he just thinks how little he has left to live for. And all I can say, great episode this week. Lots of cool stuff, pretty fun action. My favorite thing about this episode, though, is the cable description of it. I like the description is like I have it over here. It's like Arya makes the next step in her training, which is like, okay, that's a reasonable description. But then just like Cersei struggles, I was like, yes, struggling is one way to put it, isn't it? Just slowly rotting in a cage in a prison cell. But my personal favorite is it just says, and Jon travels. John's just traveling. That's all you need to know. John's on a nice little stroll. Goddamn flies. But yeah, so like I said though, great episode. YouTube as always, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.